Hello, and welcome to Tim Ryan's Medical Malpractice Insurance video blog. I'm Tim Ryan, and I'm here to answer your questions about your medical malpractice insurance coverage. Recently, I was approached by one of my clients and was asked about the concept of what's called a free tail. Now, most of us know what a tail is when it comes to your medical malpractice insurance coverage, but for those of you who don't, if you have a claims-made policy, you need insurance in force whenever the claim comes in. Obviously, a claim being a lawsuit brought against a previous patient. Now, this makes a lot of sense during the time that you're practicing, and that will statistically be the time when most claims are brought against you. But there's also a chance that a claim can be brought against you after you've stopped practicing. Most states have a statute of limitations of up to 2 years after an occurrence happens that causes a lawsuit, where a plaintiff or a patient can bring a lawsuit against you. So, for example, you could stop practicing, completely retire, and then within the next 2 years, someone could still bring a lawsuit against you. So it is very important to make sure that you've got coverage during that time. And again, you need insurance in force when the claim is made, if you've got a claims-made policy. Now, these claims-made policies, the tails that come along with them, can be quite expensive. For example, most tails are going to be between 100 to 150 to sometimes 200% of your final year's premium. So let's take an example. A private practice doctor in New York, whose specialty is internal medicine, practicing in actually New York, will be paying somewhere around $35,000 or $40,000 for their medical malpractice insurance coverage. So, if they decide to retire and haven't earned a free tail, their tail is going to cost them anywhere between $60,000 and $70,000 to purchase, just to make sure that they're covered after they've stopped practicing. Now, this is quite a large outlay, especially if you think that this doctor has stopped practicing and has stopped bringing income from the practice, and most of the time, writing that big of a check isn't very fun. So obviously, we want to be as aware and educated as we possibly can be about how to get a free tail. Every company is a little different, and you're going to have to make sure that your specific company, you'll need to know exactly what their stipulations are, how to earn a free tail. But for the most part, you essentially need to be with the same company 5 years prior to retirement. Okay, so as long as you're with the same company for 5 years prior to retirement, you'll get a free tail. So if we're taking this internal medicine doctor in New York, for example, that's a savings of $60,000 or $70,000 just by having a little extra knowledge about how everything works. Now, there's a couple things to keep in mind. First off, when the insurance company refers to retirement, that actually means the ceasing of medical practice forever. I get a lot of questions from my clients about, well, if I'm stopping practice in New Jersey and I'm going to move to Pennsylvania and just do a little part-time thing on the side, that does not count as retirement. Even if you're moving states, even if you're completely shutting down a different practice, the insurance companies are going to say retirement is the actual ceasing of all medical practice. So just keep that in mind. Secondly, and this is probably the most important thing to keep in mind while you're thinking about your free tail, is essentially you have to understand exactly what your company's specific rules are to get that. For example, if your company says you need to be with them 5 years prior to retirement, and you get a nice quote in from a different company that says you can save 10 or 15% if you jump to this new company and you're within that 5-year timeline, it might be very tempting to jump and change your medical malpractice insurance to get this 15% discount. But at the same time, you have to realize that by doing that, you're potentially forfeiting your free tail, and it's going to cost you a lot more down the road. So all this to say, make sure you're in constant communication with your specific broker while making sure you understand what your insurance company has set up as guidelines in order for you to earn your free tail. Because at the end of the day, that knowledge will be able to save you quite a bit of money. Anyway, I hope this helps. Again, leave me a question down below. I'd love to help out in any way that I can. Once again, this is Tim Ryan and Tim Ryan's Medical Malpractice Insurance video blog. Have a great day.